Okay, hello guys. I just before we start off with the body stuff, I'll just show you what we're up to here. So we've got the controls on, switches, throttles in, there's the cable, hasn't been connected yet. The new bar ends, little stickers that go on the end. And around here, the headlight mounting is solid now. Headlights are in. These are the new bolts that I had to go and get to hold that plate on, which basically keeps the forks together, and then the mudguard screws underneath that. So that's what that does. Coming around here, same again. This is all the new stuff. I was commenting the other day about the old, they're not hydraulic, they're just cable driven clutches, and they're much heavier than the modern stuff. But that's cool. There's all the tops. So basically the clip-ons are on properly. So yeah, so we're getting there. And I'll take you out and show you the body parts in a minute. There's one other thing I want to show you, and I'll go and get that. I'll be back. I went down to my local nut and bolt shop to just to get the ones for that front plate. Anyway, he had this box here, and it's all stainless, and they're all dome head with Allen key. So, and they're all good quality stuff. They're not cheapies, they're not Chinese sort of stuff. It's all really good quality and all stainless. So I couldn't help myself. Anyway, for the price and for the amount of time that I would use them, they're good value. So good quality fastenings. So there you go. So I bought that. Didn't plan on it, but I'm happy that I did because it'll come in handy. Alright, we'll get on to the body parts. I haven't got them all done at the same time because there's only so much paint you can put in your gun. So what I do is I try and make it so if I've got a full tub in the gun, it'll do a certain amount of parts. Because if I don't fill it up again that day, well then it doesn't matter. I can do it again, which I'll show you. So here we go. This is what I'm up to so far. So we've got a fair bit done. So both side panel, upper and lower. So what these are now, these have been painted white. They've got no clear on them. They've been painted white and they're pearled because that's what the white part of it will look like. Come across to here, same again. So again, no clear, just white and pearled. So they will get a rub. I'll colour sand them down just because I can on these things, I take my time with them. But this one's interesting. This is the one that we painted blue the other week, and I don't know if you'll pick them up. There's a couple of little tiny little pips in there which actually look like paint sort of things. They're only tiny and they'll sand out and you'll never know they were there. Could have come from the pearl or it could have come from the white. So that's got to get done today. I'll do that. And the little V that sits in the front, that's all done. So there we go. Now after that, this is what I've got left. So the tank itself is ready. It'll need a prep sole and a knot rag put over it to get any little fibres, and the front is ready to rock and roll. Same again, they'll get prep soled, let it dry, and then put a knot rag over it, take any dust particles away. And I've just got to rub these down. So these will take half an hour each one. Get them done. And then, so hopefully today I'll have everything in white, let it all sit. I can actually start masking up these side panels. Have a look, and the problem with a lot of these, especially on this one, this particular bike, is that where two panels join, there's sometimes like there's blue and they overlap a bit. So I might even hang them on the bike and then mask them up on the bike, if that makes sense. So sort of put it all together and then do my masking and then cut between the panels, just cut with a little blade on the tape. That way you're going to get a perfect fit when you put it all back together. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking of doing, and if I do that I'll show you how I do it. Okay, alright, we'll catch you a bit later. Hi guys, I'll show you how I do some of these because I haven't really shown you any sanding. These here are my little blocks that I use for doing, you know, small stuff. And I have all different little ones that I use. So if I needed to get, you know, somewhere really small, I can. Anyway, so that's what I do there. Pretty self-explanatory. So at the moment, I'm using some flogged out, so pretty worn 800, which will act like 1000. And I'm just taking the roughness from where I put the white over the blue. So I'm not pushing real hard, and really all I'm doing is I'm trying to tidy up those lines because they are a little bit sharp from the you know, from the painting, from where you've had a mask. So I just carefully do this, and this is, there's no clear on this yet, so this is straight on paint. The other thing it does is if there's any little marks, which there was on this one, there's one right here. Very gently. I don't usually go in circles, but because I'm trying to get a particular spot, I'm sort of angling the sander at that spot. Don't want to spend a lot of time, so you dig a hole. But this is sanding on the top of pearl, so I don't really want to take all the pearl off, but I just want to flatten out the job. And the problem that I might have here is that there, I don't know what that was. I'm still using it flat. I'm just going to work the area a little bit and see if I can get it to come out. I've got to give Suzuki credit when they did them in the factory, because they did a really good job. You know, their lines were always nice and sharp and stuff. So I'm not pushing very hard. As you can see, it slid then, but I'm really not pushing at all. Just letting the sander glide over the top, and it will cut. And just the hands off, see? And there's another one just there that I can see. The clear will do a fair bit of work for you. It'll, if there is a little blemish there, it will help you, and it'll help you more if you flow coat. So flow coating is when you put the clear on, and then you sand the clear down without hitting the paint that time, and then you give it another coat, so you're flowing over the top of your flattened out thing, flattened out clear. So there's a couple of different methods. And that one there, I'm not really happy with it. Yep, it come up. There you go. It was down, so I've got to redo that now. Bit of a bummer. I was going to say something else, but I don't want to have to tick the box when I load it up to say that it's not kiddie safe. So, got to be respectful of that. But yeah, not happy. I might I'll do it with an airbrush so I don't have to paint the whole thing again, so I'll continue sanding it. As I say, it's never the end of the world. You can always come and fix them. Whatever that bit of junk was, it went down to the blue. So better I do it now, because I knew I wouldn't be happy with it. And someday someone would turn around and say, "Oh, what's that in the paint?" And then I'd be really upset, because I knew it was there and I didn't do nothing about it. It's alright if you've got a little blemish somewhere, that's like underneath and no one's ever going to see it, you can sort of, you know it's there, but that's all okay. But when it's on top like this, no, it's got to be fixed. So we'll fix her up. Be very careful on the edges. And if you've got a line, you see me sometimes go like that, but if you've got a line going this way, you sand this way. You don't keep going like that, because eventually you'll grab a corner and lift it up. Because this isn't that, it's not that old, it's only done yesterday. So you just want to try and take the sharp edge off the paint. The clear will do the same job, so if I just cleared it, the clear will sit in there and make just a little ridge. But it's just a little bit nicer if you can spend a little bit extra time and just get them out a little bit better. I can tell the difference if I look at a bike and it's got lines on it like this has. If I put my finger across it, I can tell whether they sanded it or not. It's a whole lot different. There's a little black dot right there, and I'm not sure what it is yet. So it's definitely smooth enough now. Give this a little bit of go. Doesn't matter which way you hold your block, as long as you don't sand up and down. That's better. Starting to pick up the white there. I'll bring the block down a bit. Just use a bit of cleaner stuff. It's always going to give a better job because you're flattening out to a point. You're flattening out the last paint, like the last bit of paint you put on. It's always going to give you a nice and smoother job than if you don't do it and you just paint. Because I don't know if you know, but paint does this when you look at it under a magnifying glass, and it can be quite pointy, which is what you feel that roughness when you rub your hand across it. Those edge bits without cutting through anything. Yep, starting to pick it up. I won't go too mad on here because you're not going to see it. Still helps just to make it all look good. Alright, so I'll put that over and let it dry, and then we'll do this operation here to fix that. It's a bit of a bummer that it come through. Let's go and get a rag and then I'll... Okay, I've gone and cleaned it off. You can definitely see that mark there. I may even have to put a little bit of putty on that because it's quite down to the blue. So there's 4 layers of white on it, and then there's 3 layers of pearl. You can probably still see the pearl effect in it. And I've got a little bit of sanding to do there, I've just noticed. It's from the tape mark. So I'll get them out before I clear it. But anyway, that's, other than the little repair now, which I'll airbrush out, that's pretty much ready now to be cleared. Oh, I've got to put the sticker. So the Suzuki sticker. has to go on across the back here. So put the sticker on. Sorry, couldn't say that. Suzuki sticker across there. Fix that. Give it another wipe down, make sure it's spotless. Take out the tape marks, and then clear it. And then that is then finished. So I'll put this away now. I want to get the tank ready, and the front and those other two back panels, and then we'll put them in white, and we'll go from there. I'm tossing up in the air with this one because it has blue on it, so I'm just not sure yet. I still think that I'm going to put it has white on it as well, so, and the white covers a lot better, and then once the white is on it, then I can put the blue on it without any prep, so I'll mask it up and then put the blue on it. So I think I'm going to do it that way because of the white being a much better base. It covers a lot better. Where the blue, you've got to work it and work it and work it and put a lot of coats on. This probably got 8 or 10 coats of blue to cover that. So it's a lot of paint where you can do it a lot more efficiently. So I don't know how they done it. They obviously had their system, but with experience I think I'm going to paint it all white, mask it up, and then do the blue bits, and it'll come out exactly the same, but it's just a different way of going about it. The front panel is definitely white. It has blue on it, but it's definitely white based. So anyway, that's what we're up to at the moment. I go and put this back, let the panel dry off properly. Even though it's been ragged off, it'll still have a little bit of moisture somewhere on it, and I don't want it to come out in the paint, so I'll let that sit for a couple of hours, and then I'll move on to these, and then we'll come back and we'll see how we're going. Alright, I'll catch you later.